Hi, Mr. Mercy of Mr. Mercy's Mushrooms here. This is the second part of our series on mushroom log creation. And in this part, I'm going to deal with inoculating a mushroom log that you've already cut. If you missed it, please check out part 1 of our series, which deals with log selection. All right, let's get started.
The materials we will need are 1. Mushroom spawn, in the form of either sawdust or dowels, which you can buy at mrmercysmushrooms.com. 2. Logs, which you should already have, see video number 1. 3. An inoculation tool if you're using sawdust. It's not necessary, but it definitely makes it a bunch easier. And if you're using dowel spawn, you'll want a hammer. 4. A drill and a bit. I prefer a corded over cordless drill, as battery life and torque can be issues. For sawdust spawn, I use a 1/2-inch bit and a 3/16 bit for dowels. If you're using sawdust spawn without an inoculation tool, use one as big as your finger. That's around 5/16 or 3/4 for me. 5. Some food-grade wax, such as beeswax or paraffin wax, and you can get this on our site as well. 6. A portable stove. 7. A pot we don't care much about, and finally 8. A paintbrush or wax applicator. First, find a comfortable spot with the log in front of you. With the drill, we're going to make a line of holes 6 to 8 inches apart along the length of the log. I use a bit with a stopper on it to easily make each hole the same depth. Next, turn your log and make another series of holes, but offset from the first row. This will form a triangular or diamond pattern. Repeat around the circumference of the log. If in doubt, more holes is generally better than less. While I'm using shiitake spawn, you can find a variety of other options on our website, including oyster, lion's mane, and reishi. They'll come in a bag with sawdust, or as dowels. Take your bag of sawdust and crumble it up into small chunks. You can pour some of it into a bucket for easy access if you like. If you have the inoculator tool, poke it into the loose spawn several times to fill the cavity at the end. Then, position the inoculator tool over a drilled hole and press the knob on the end, either with the thumb or the palm of the hand, depending on the model. If you don't have the tool, just stuff in the spawn by hand. Fill holes flush with the level of the bark. There's no need to pack it in too firmly. With dowel spawn, take a single dowel and gently tap it into the hole with a hammer. When all the holes are filled, we move on to the waxing. This both prevents moisture loss and makes a seal to keep out the other organisms that'll want to eat the wood, keeping more food for the mushrooms and so producing more mushrooms for you. Heat up the wax in the pan until it's hot. Lightly smoking is good. If it's not hot enough, it'll end up peeling off pretty easily. Dip the brush or wax applicator into the pan, then brush to cover each inoculation hole one by one. The wax should fully cover each hole. Also, you can cover any scars or breaks in the bark with wax as well. Some people suggest waxing the ends of logs, but I'm not going to do that right now, both because it uses more wax and because I'm going to want to soak these shiitake to fruit them, and that's quicker with unwaxed ends. With your log finished, it needs to be stored correctly while it colonizes, which can be a process that takes from 6 months to over a year, depending on the species of mushroom and the wood. Sawdust spawn will generally colonize more quickly than dowels, but dowels are a bit more hardy and easier to use for the beginner. I'm hoping to get a first flush off of some of these shiitakes by this fall. Make sure your log is out of direct sunlight and ideally slightly elevated to avoid contact with the ground. If you're doing a lot of logs, a log cabin style stack like this is a good way to save space and allow some airflow. If there's a prolonged dry spell, or your log doesn't have access to natural rainwater, you may need to soak it in fresh water overnight occasionally, or do a 24-hour cycle with a garden sprinkler. Once you've got your log inoculated and in storage, comment below to let me know how it went. I look forward to hearing what you're growing, the wood you're growing it on, and anything else you want to share. Also, stay tuned for the video on fruiting and harvesting. you can click subscribe to be alerted as they come out.
Thanks for watching, and please go to mrmerciesmushrooms.com to order spawn, learn more about the process, and get some good, helpful pointers. Also, please subscribe to our channel for more videos, including the forthcoming one on harvesting and fruiting your mushroom logs. Leave any comments below. We'd love to hear from you about how your grow is going. Thanks again, and happy cultivating.